Okay, I'm getting ready to spray some glyphosate. This is Glystar Plus brand. It's basically the off-brand of Roundup by Agristar. You can get it at Rural King. This jug right here, it's a 2.5 gallon jug, and it was 30 bucks. So, and you can see I sprayed an acre food plot with it already, and I only use that much. So I'm getting to spray my driveway and around the trees, and then 2 more food plots, so I can plant some beans hopefully. So I want to tell you what I do. You can get all carried away with it if you're a farmer and you're looking at efficiency and you're only going to make one pass. Your time is valuable, things like that. There's a lot that goes into spraying. There's a lot that goes into the math of what to set your sprayer at and how much the ratio that you mix it and all that stuff. For us do-it-yourself food plotters, I mean, I'm gonna be doing 2 like half-acre plots right now. So to me, if I gotta go over it a few times, okay, now I spent 25 minutes instead of 10 or 15 minutes. It's not a big deal. So I can keep it very simple. In this book right here, it'll tell you, depending on what you're killing, different kinds of weeds, things like that, it'll tell you how many quarts per acre of this chemical that you need to apply. So you flip to the back, and this gives you all the different weed species. You know, there's a few pages of them, and it'll tell you the rate, which is quarts per acre, water volume, gallons per acre, and then if you're doing a handheld solution, so you don't really that just get handheld is the wand sprayer, so you're just spot spraying it, hitting it once. It tells you kind of how strong the solution needs to be. So this is pretty much proves my point, or maybe where I got my theory from. So let's take look at bluegrass. Okay, Kentucky, or hold on. Yeah, that's fine. Kentucky bluegrass, for example. This says you need 1 to 2 quarts per acre. So 1 to 2 quarts per acre has to go on there one way or another. Now look over here. What's that say? Water volume, gallons per acre. That says you can have anywhere from 3 to 40 gallons of water per acre with that 1 to 2 quarts of Glystar Plus. So that means if I had a 40-gallon tank, which I don't, mine's only 25. If I had a 40-gallon tank, it's telling me I only have to put 1 to 2 quarts of this, put that in the bottom. It says you can put anywhere from 3 gallons to 40 gallons of water in here, and it doesn't matter. You guys understand that? And this is from the company. What matters is that you get this many quarts of chemical on the grass. So, and this is your window. So you start scrolling through here, you see numbers anywhere from 1 to 5 quarts, depending on what kind it is. You know, you got all kinds of grass. It's got alfalfa. I'm kind of looking for oats or wheat, because I know I've got a lot of that from an annual that I planted. Thistle. Really, there's nothing that there's ryegrass. That's just regular old grass. That's 1 to 3. This is talking about like woody brush and trees, even blackberry bushes, all kinds of different saplings. And even the highest it goes for that is 5 quarts per acre. Anyhow, flip back here. All these different grasses. I use about 3 quarts. You know, maybe I should go stronger, but I feel like that is a good mix, and it's gonna kill everything. So I think looking at this again, I'm probably gonna go with 4. I'll go 4 quarts, and knowing that I have about an acre to spray, and yeah, that's it. So to keep it simple, and I know there's gonna be people that are gonna tell me it's more complicated and you gotta have a biochemistry engineering degree and all this stuff to figure out all this sprayers, but I'm telling you, I've been doing this for a while, and I got a friend, Kevin Thayer, who, if you go check his Facebook page out, he does a ridiculous amount of food plots. He gets paid to do food plots for some celebrity guys. He knows what he's doing, and he agrees with me on this. The most important thing on this is how much of this chemical are you gonna put on your square footage. So let's say you have 1 acre that you're trying to kill. You look in this book, and it's gonna tell you X amount of quarts per acre. So what that means is you pour, let's say it's 3 quarts. You gotta put 3 quarts of this chemical into this tank, and that's gotta make it onto that 1 acre. It doesn't matter how much water to chemical ratio you have. At some point it will matter. For us, it doesn't matter, because I can go, let's say I'm just gonna fill my tank up. So if I need 3 quarts, if I need 2 quarts, if I need 3 quarts, 4 quarts, 5, whatever I need, because I'm doing it small, I'm gonna fill this tank up. The ratio is gonna be different every time, but at the end, what happens is the water evaporates off, and you have a certain amount of this chemical that is still gonna be there on the plant. So no matter how you do it, as long as you empty this tank on your plot, you're still gonna have the same amount of chemical on your food plot. Now, the only difference will be you will also have some water on your food plot. The water is a holder. It's a medium. The purpose of the water is to hold the chemical so you can distribute it. The chemical is a concentrate. You know, you don't need the full amount. You're not just broadcasting straight chemical. So that's how it works. As long as you don't get out of control. I mean, if you have a 500-gallon tank in the back of your pickup truck, then you're talking a different story, and the mixture's probably there's gonna be so much water, it's gonna be like it rained after you applied the chemical, and it's gonna be so watered down, it's probably not gonna do a good job. But 25-gallon tank to 1 acre, I'm gonna look in this book, and I don't know what kind of weeds I have out there in my food plot or grass, so I'm gonna look at it and I'm gonna take an average. And that's what we're gonna spray, and we're gonna make sure it all gets out on 1 acre, and it's gonna work perfect. It's gonna kill everything. In 2 weeks, everything will be crispy brown and dry, and I'll be able to run it over with my tiller, and it's gonna turn into dirt. So, yep. And if you guys haven't seen my sprayer, I got another video you can search on the YouTube channel, but I bought a spot sprayer. This was $100 from Rural King, and I bought a $20 spray nozzle here, and it's got a valve, and I teed it into here. And so what happens is when I turn the switch on, I put a switch on it. When I turn the switch on, this one nozzle, that thing broadcasts like 20-foot wide path. So, 100 altogether, about $120-$30, and you got a nice sprayer set up on your ATV. Let me know if you have any questions. or go ahead and let me know if what I'm doing is completely wrong. Next time you get on these forums on Facebook and everybody's talking about how complicated it is, you got to figure out the rate of your sprayer, how fast you're driving. It's ridiculous. Like I said, if you're a farmer and your job, the more efficient, the quicker you can get the spray job done, the more money you're going to make because you can hit more fields, and you're using your diesel fuel cost. I suppose if you're thinking about all that, of course it makes sense to get this perfect spray figured out so that you can make one pass. That makes sense, but in the little world of food plotting, even if you've got 2 or 3 acres to cover, don't sweat it. Just put however much you need in your tank and make sure all that gets on the ground. Maybe you got to hit it 2 or 3 times. My buddy Kevin says, he says only, I can't remember, he's something about only use half of your tank, or only do half of your area, and then kind of evaluate how much did you use, kind of like seeding, to make sure you don't run out before you finish the whole thing. So in my case, I'm going to end up having to hit mine 2 or 3 times before it's finished, or maybe I'm going over it 5 or 6 times before I use up all my chemical. So and I'm fine with that. That just means I spend a little bit more time, and I don't have to figure out how fast I'm going and get all scientific with it. So, all right, stay tuned. We're gonna spray, and hopefully we'll get it done and be able to plant some beans here. I've got a tiller over here this is what I use on my ATV, and it is down for the count. It's got a gearbox broke in half, so I'm gonna have to get that taken apart and see if I can weld it back together, and maybe one day I'll have some fancy stuff, food plot stuff, but for now we do what works, just like most of you guys out there. All right, again, thanks for watching. If you got any tips for me, I would appreciate that. I am no expert at all. I am just a guy trying to make food plots to feed the deer and make them healthy and have that good feeling that you're helping out wildlife. It's pretty cool. It's fun to do. So I'm out.